opportunity. And secondly, and just as important, is to share a really important time of information with our parents so that we can have a great rest of the school year. Those are the two things we're trying to do tonight.
The great school year ship has sailed.
Clearly, we're really not prepared to do that tonight.
I have a question, and I mean this with respect. And I mean this with respect because clearly people love this school. Had anyone come to us as parents and said this was a fiscal issue, we would have given you whatever money you needed. And I am not going to allow you to blame students on financial aid. That is unbelievably inappropriate. This school in a perfect world would be free to anyone who wanted to go. This is not about students. What I don't understand is nobody said to us, help us fix the gap, which tells me that this was a decision made because it's not about not wanting the school. You want us gone because people were willing to purchase this school.
Amen.
And that's what I need to understand. Tony, you could have called me and we could have rallied whatever funds you needed. You did not want to fix this issue. You did not ask for help. And so I am struggling with be honest with us. Tell us why you are doing this, and I think that would help us move on. It is the lies and the deceit from the Catholic Church and nuns that I think is so hard.
Okay, I'd like you to answer her questions. I'm a alum. I love this school, and I want to know, and I want an answer to, did you sell this land? And I have not heard that tonight. So is this land sold? Have you invested it with another investor, and that's why it's closing? Because if that's the case, then all of us need to know that right now.
The question to that, or the answer to that is no. No, it's not true. Okay? So,
Why did you not come to us? I'd like to hear why you didn't come to us. Could you please
Why
explain?
didn't you come to the community? Just answer the question, seriously. They've been asking all night long and you keep avoiding it. Answer the question.
I'd like a chance.
Do it.
I'd like a chance to talk. So,
Just give
this
us
is
the number that we need to keep the damn
Too hard of a question, huh? Can't answer it.
Oh, Sam!
Why aren't you talking? Answer. What's going on?
I really have a hard time with hostility. That's what
Oh, get used to it. You're a dead man in this town.
Where's the board?
Say something.
Tony,
Get something that
can we see the financial statements? Can we see the 24-25 budget? I heard that there was one. I heard that it was balanced. Can we see that? We're paying parents. Can we see that?
I want him to answer that. I think
I'm trying to, organize these thoughts to be able to answer you in a proper way, in a respectful way.
why don't you let the PR lady, why don't you're here, answer the question, why did you not come to the community? I think it's a fair question.
Tony. And I'm not a PR lady, so I don't have that expertise.
Well, whatever, a hired hat, whatever you are. Please explain why you didn't come to us.
Because the decision of this magnitude is the responsibility of the board, and the board is working.
Why couldn't you fire the board? Was the offer
May
for
I
the developer just too high?
May I say something in regard to messaging to the community?
Sure.
Because I've been involved in Lorena for decades. And I do specifically recall when we started hitting financial straits, we asked if we can start a Save Our School program, and we were told that message would be too detrimental to the existing community, so we were squashed from trying to pursue any kind of outside fundraising to save the school when we were in financial straits. I don't know if Tony or anybody else wants to speak to that, but that is the truth. I sat in those meetings where we were told, do not send that message, it sends a bad message. What's worse, closing the school or sending a bad message to save it?
We are not. During those times, that's true, essentially true. During those times, we were doing everything possible to raise enrollment, and it was the considered wisdom of leadership in the board at that time that to show alarm and panic would be detrimental to continued enrollment. It's never been an issue of quality of the school's programs. You can all attest to that. It's always been an issue of the quantity of students that we've had.
Why not save it then? Why didn't you let us try to help you save it? That's right, but I don't understand is why couldn't we help you try to save it? We didn't even get an opportunity to help you save this community. I don't
Folks, give Mr. Guevara space to answer your questions. I know we all want answers, but there are many coming at him. And he needs a minute to respond to Mrs. Shaw's first question, and then I'm sure he'll address the other questions. So please, Mr. Guevara, Mrs. Shaw's question. Repeat that, please, Mrs. Shaw. What was your initial question?
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. The essential question is why wasn't the community given an opportunity to save the school? All right. We are not the first school, unfortunately, regrettably, to be in this circumstance. Schools like Lorena are closing all over this country. It's just a sad reality of our current circumstances in the country. In all of those cases, there have been 11th hour attempts to save the school. There has not been any one that has succeeded. There are always the best of intentions.
So just quit, just don't even try. Is that your thing?
So,
What about the 8th hour and the 7th hour?
You still haven't answered. Why didn't you come to the community? You haven't answered. Answer.
yeah.
Why? Answer. You haven't answered what you need. What's the number?
If we have a number, we will find. Tell us the number.
Hi, we'd like to have a chance to speak.
Yeah, the issue is really around sustainability, right? So the number it has to be computed over time. It's not.
Sir, can I ask a parallel question? I understand what you're saying about the future and the outlook of Capital Schools, schools like this in general. It's not sustainable. We get that. Your timing is horrible. I'm a new parent. I have a daughter here 2 weeks ago taking her assessment to join 6th grade. 2 weeks ago. I had already left my spot at Our Lady of Grace School so that she was going to come here to join her sister. And this is a beautiful school, a beautiful community of women who are strong. You did nothing to stop enrollment, delay the future assessments. Right now, this timing, schools have already closed their application process. You were asking schools to make spaces for your teachers. You're asking other schools in the Archdiocese, I've been informed, to make priority for us. Great, but not great for this whole idea. You're putting pressure on other schools. You're not even giving this community a chance. If it's not sustainable, fine, we get that. A year, 5 years, 10 years from now, maybe Lorena won't succeed. But this year, what about next year? I think this community can at least rally enough so that these women have a chance to not just end their education today. I mean, today the girls did nothing. They cried, they counseled. Right now, you've interrupted their education. Today was a day of lost education. This announcement should have been made at the beginning of the school year, knowing that we will probably end by the end of the school year. Now, I am ask this board, I ask the Sisters of Notre Dame, this committee, extend this at least to the end of this year and another year to give these families and women a community, one, to finish their education here. And yes, I would still like an answer to my sister-in-law, Ms. Rachel Shaw's question. Why did the community not get involved sooner? Thank you.
The junior class is our utmost priority. We're going to have opportunities to discuss their specific situation with those families and parents. That is number one, what we are most concerned about.
Mr. Guevara, may I please speak? I was here 6th through 12th grade. I graduated last year, and you gave me a job. I'm a mock trial coach here. It is the most fulfilling thing I have ever done in my life. You and Mrs. Marshall walked me down to the hall where I signed my papers, and you guys said that you were proud of me, because I am the type of woman that you guys have spent your whole life here creating. That is the difference here. Here we are a community of people who care about each other. At other schools, you don't get that. You are just a number. At Oaks Christian, they have double the tuition, and they are thriving there. Mock trial had a scrimmage there 2 weekends ago, and they are in their utmost best state. And they are charging a college tuition, which even me on a college tuition similar to Oaks Christian, I am needing immense financial aid for. Lorena has always given me and my family a chance in being here. And I have been offered scholarships, which have immensely helped me. We have a community here that cannot be broken. The other Catholic high school in Ventura County is out in Ojai, Villanova. That is not feasible for any of our students here, except for the ones who live in the utmost parts of Ventura. The other nearest school, the Catholic high school, is Louisville, all the way out into Los Angeles County. You are losing a whole community of girls that are a community with their teachers and the personnel around. I know all of the teachers here, all of the principals, all of the admin, all of the people in the cafeteria. I talked to a cafeteria lady today. We were talking about how we spent 7 years together with smiles and greetings. This school immensely creates the next generation of women who are capable, confident, and compassionate. This is not something that can be
I'm really sad, and I will tell you, she's a remarkable woman because Lorena, and there is nothing that's offered like here anywhere else.
Amen.
And as Rosemary said, involve the community. I believe I'm a community leader as well. Involve the community. You tell us the number, we'll raise it. And you just got to give us an opportunity instead of making a decision, we're closed. You got to give us an opportunity, in my opinion, to let the community, the Lorena community, and leaders within this community to go outside the Lorena community to raise the funds to give these girls a chance, because they won't have another opportunity that they have here at Lorena. So I believe that you do need to include the community, and the community will step up. I know you said other communities maybe not step up. This community will step up for Lorena if you give us that number.
To further that goal, I hereby tonight pledge, if you go one more year, I personally will write a check for $5,000. I don't know. Let's start collecting the money.
Mr. Guevara.
That's 10 grand.
As you can see, Mr. Guevara, right here. Hi, I'm an alum. I love this place, and we're all so charged. I'm so charged. I have 3-4 pages of scribbled notes of why I love this place. If the board that was on January 17th with Miss Betsy Potts and everyone, if they could vote to keep Lorena, and then just a few days later vote to close Lorena with a new board,
Can we please make a new board with people who actually have a stake in Lorena to make more of a rational decision? If people don't know, yes, then no, but yes again. There are people who will give so much money. $6 million has already been fundraised. We've met all of your demands, have we not? That's from my understanding. We've met all demands. We want this. We want to be here. Please, I would love to have my future child go here, or at least the opportunity. I think we just all, yes, are looking for transparency, but more than that, we want to be able to have our school back, and if you see this entire community is willing to do whatever it takes, even for just a year, then that's our money. That's not your money, that's not the sisters' money, that's our money. And I want to do something about that. I want to do something with my money. Please, let's figure out a way to make that happen.
Thank you. To my knowledge, there is no $6 million. I don't know about that. So let me be real about what it is that it would take, because that has never changed for the past 3 or 4 years. We've been operating at deficits which have, by the end of the school year, virtually cleaned out our reserves. Hang on. So at this point, situations could change, but at this point, on June 30th, we will have less than $300,000 left. Okay? That is not enough to fund more than 2 payrolls. Hang on a minute. Hang on. You want facts? I'm giving you some facts. All right? So each year, as you know,
Let him finish.
I will get to that point. Thank you. So each year, what we found, and I'll give you the context for why we operate this way. Each year, what we found was we were using your deposits and your first payments for the next school year earlier in the previous school year. That's how the deficit happened, right? So we could not escalate tuition at the same rate as other institutions because of the people that we serve. Okay? When I started here 6.5 years ago, we had approximately 20 to 22, 23% that were on tuition assistance. The average amount of gift to those families, of contribution to those families, was approximately $1,500, $1,600. Okay? Now we have about 34% of our families, and the average needed amount that we can give is about $4,000, $5,000, sometimes $6,000. Okay? So realize that we don't have an endowment which produces that much, that there's an actual pot of money that we take $1 and we give it out. We just discount our program. A lot has been said about cutting, reducing, being more efficient. We have been on that track since the day I got here. And I don't think I was the first one on that track. That's what we've been doing. Every incremental year, there's been some change, there's been reductions in staff. If you look at an org chart from 8 years ago, and you look at one now, there's a lot fewer people on that org chart, but the same demands on time and duties. Our people are working incredibly hard. So those are some of the factors that led to the situation we're in. So I've heard things about, well, you know, there's all this money in endowment. There isn't. There isn't that money in endowment, right? So we're using the funds that we can. We've worked with donors in the past to release funds from the endowment for general operating need. We've taken countless steps to try to make this sustainable. So it was not this past summer, the summer before. That entire year leading up to that summer, the board worked very, very hard. Our finance committee worked very, very hard with the National Ministry Board to be able to have last school year. Last school year, okay? We didn't get the go-ahead. We planned for it. We just went ahead. We charged forward. But we didn't get the official go-ahead till the Friday before the teachers showed up for the new school year. That's the reality of that situation, right? So we were on this trajectory, I would say, in excess of 10 years ago. We've worked very, very hard. The school has had a long-standing history of deficits. Let me explain why.
But this doesn't
Let me explain why.
This does not make sense. Your own numbers that you're giving us right now only correspond to a tuition raise of $4,300 per family that is not receiving tuition assistance. So we need to see the spreadsheet. The numbers don't add up.
I respect that. So I'm gonna get to that. Yes, I will address that. I will address that. Okay. So the pride that we have in Lorena, Ruby's comments are right on point, has a lot to do, has everything to do with the type of program that we have. It's broad and it's deep. To have that broad and deep program of not just curricular activities, but also co-curricular activities and programs requires a student body to support that. Right now, our most valuable commodity on campus are the students themselves. The coaches and the teachers and the activity moderators, they're all competing. They want their program to be the best. They're competing for the students. We have a nice softball facility out there that we haven't used, regrettably, for now 3 years because there aren't enough girls to run that program.
I'm going to ask my question again. Did the board vote on a surplus budget for the year 24-25? The original board, not the board of last week.
Okay. Yes.
Can I make
Yes.
a very quick comment, Tony, and a
Yes.
correction about the size of our programs? I just want to defend my girls. I hear tonight. I say all the time, my only job is to help you find your voice, and dang, you showed up. But what I did want to say in terms of our quote-unquote shrinking programs, I am so honored and excited to say that I get to bring another group of girls to sing Mass at the Vatican this year. And the crazy thing about that is, this is the largest group I've ever taken to Italy. So with our incredibly shrinking numbers, my choir is filled. My girls are incredible, and we are so excited to continue to grow and have momentum and do wonderful things like the girls who are going to sing with the newest symphony this weekend. So we up there, we're good. That's all.
Mrs. Voss, can we just go back to my...
Answer that question. I'm coming back to you. So the answer is yes. The board that was in place until recently voted what presented as a surplus budget of about $100,000, approximately, for next year. Okay? That budget had two structural problems in it. Okay? Number one, it was based on an amount of fundraising that the school has no history of ever doing. And, hang on, okay. And it was based on a new program where we would offer courses, what we'll call now 8 through 0 period, for an extra fee. Okay. And it was, okay. And it was based on about 40% of the student body taking those classes.
That sounds good. One more follow-up question on that board. Were they required to sign an NDA? And if so, would you be willing to release them from that NDA?
I don't have that authority, and I don't have that legal.
Well, you should know. Well, who has the authority?
Is there an NDA? Answer us, is there an NDA?
Yes, we signed it, we'll
Yes.
release it, Tony. If it's on us, we'll release it.
Yeah.
What was the number that you don't think that we could raise?
Okay, so historically, over the course of the last number of years, we have always calculated that would take about $2 million, a little bit more maybe sometimes depending on what was happening, but about $2 million a year to cover the deficit for that year and have a little bit of cushion to bridge the summer months until we start the next year, okay? It's always been a challenge to us to show sustainability for at least a minimum of 3 years. So that window closed. We had been working against that window. We've done it. Thanks to you. Thank you to your generosity. Thank you to all the folks that contribute to our school. We've been able to do that. We have run out of money and we have run out of time. That is where we are.
That's where you're wrong.
Can I say something really quickly? I have been here since 6th grade, and the amount of times people have asked me what school I have gone to, and I can proudly say Lorena, so many times. Mothers have said, oh, I want to send my daughter there. That is such a great school. All our community, our Lorena community, would help. Raise the money, whatever money you would need. I have been going here since 6th grade, and I have made bonds with the teachers and my classmates, and that I'm not ready to say goodbye to yet. You let us know a week before deadlines for other schools, for other private schools, other good education schools. I am not ready to say goodbye to Lorena. Our community is not ready to say goodbye to Lorena. Our community is ready to put fundraisers together. You didn't even give the girls a chance to put fundraisers together. Our girls love this school. I love this school. This school is my life, and it has built an identity and a character for me. This school has given me so much confidence, and I will always cherish that. Give our girls a chance to put the fundraisers together.
I want to piggyback off of that and say I'm a new parent here. I'm thrilled to be here. We've loved this school. My daughter has found her place. It's wonderful. I have been baffled by the lack of fundraising at this school because we've been to multiple schools, and everywhere you go, they are almost hounding you for money. There is always an ask. I saw one ask, and it was like, any dollar amount, guys, any dollar amount, everything, just $50 is fine. It's not fine. Ask for more and you will receive. This community is amazing. Ask. And on another note, at the multiple schools that I have been at, they have shown the spreadsheets. Where are the spreadsheets? And one more note, for someone who doesn't know what's going on and is learning on the fly right now, can you please explain what happened with this board situation? I need some answers on this because this is bizarre.
So the Lorena board had passed a resolution in the past that
Which board?
the original board, the Lorena board, that some of the members, those members are here this evening, had passed a resolution last summer that the school would be closing at the end of this year unless there was, if there was some way to prevent that and left that open. But
but that was the understanding. I'm telling you straight up, okay? Let me finish, please. So in December, the board, there was a budget, as many of you have referenced, that was put together for next school year to try to show how that it could be feasible to have a year where there were enough resources to keep the school open. Because heading into that, as Tony has already explained to you, the amount of deficits over the number of years, I mean, there were years there were $1 million deficits that were budgeted, and there were years that the school had to use prepaid tuition to operate. That is not sustainable. So the decision then that the board, the Lorena board that you all are referencing, put together a budget, the finance committee put together a budget, presented it to the board, and you are correct that that board approved that budget for next year. Okay, that is a correct statement. And then they decided to rescind the resolution for closure. That was not a majority, but there were enough that happened. So they presented this decision.
Excuse me. I'm a former board member.
Yes.
You're speaking on our behalf, and I don't know if everything you're saying is factually correct.
Okay, well, let me finish.
And also, no, because you already said it, and it wasn't exactly.
Yeah.
I would just like to say that we were asked to sign an NDA, and how come you get to talk about everything that happened and we don't get to share our
So let me just say this, that I'm going to shift this over to the National Ministry Board did not accept the budget that was presented by the Lorena board, okay?
Why?
That is fact, because of what Tony said, it was not sustainable for the coming year. There were too many assumptions, there was not enough there to cover.
What would they accept?
So there was not, really it's being able to, if there's enough students to meet the budget needs, that was the question.
Well, you just raised the price, simple economics, you raised the tuition.
It doesn't matter how many kids, it's the money.
Yeah,
the community.
If I may, could I ask a question?
Answering your question about the board. So the board there were some board members that resigned. There were some board members that stayed because they did not.
If I may, could I ask a question, please?
Wait. Before we get to the next question, Laura, can you finish the rest of that sentence? Because there's more to that story.
There is, absolutely. I understand that, I know, yes. There were some board members, I didn't know that, but I understand that one of the board members has health issues. There were board members that resigned, there were board members that were asked to resign by the National Ministry Board.
Can we be clear with the language here, Laura, since you've already violated this NDA in many ways? We were removed.
Okay. All right, so I'm just answering your question. Yes, there is a new board in place. That is the answer. The new board was put in place last week.
I think Sister Regina should actually answer this question, because I feel like this is a question for Sister Regina. Sister Regina, if we raise money that will allow us to be with tuition that's expected for the next 2 years, will you promise us to give these girls more time? This is not about a corporation. This is about our belief. This is about Jesus and God and our belief in the Catholic religion. Please give us, I know that sisters, you have the ability to override this. This is a religious institution. Will you give us, if we can raise enough money to be fiscally sound for 2 years, whatever that number is, will you give our girls at least 2 more years? Please, sister.
Sister Regina cannot represent the Sisters of Notre Dame.
Fuck that.
That's right.
Could I please ask a question now? Sorry, I have a question about the board as well, just on the topic of that, because you're going to stick on that. Yeah, go ahead, girls. Go on. Thank you. All right, I have 3 questions, and hi, in case you don't know me, my name is Ava Pt1. I've gone here from 7th grade and graduated through Lorena, class of 2022. I'm very happy to be here. I'd rather be here on less sad circumstances, but nonetheless, I'm glad to be back. Anyways, are you paying attention? I just want to make sure. Thank you. Okay. I just want to ask, So why weren't the people with direct positions of power at Lorena, such as yourself, why weren't they consulted about the idea to close the school? And furthermore, since you said they had been, why did they withhold that information from families, communities, students, alumni, everybody else, until yesterday? When you said you've known for a year that you were going to close?
It's a very good question. So again, I think Laura touched on the chronology. Right? The decision was made to close with the proviso unless something dramatic changed.
Yes,
That
but
was-
sorry, let me clarify. Let me
Okay.
clarify, please. Why wasn't the community informed when this was first proposed in order to enact some sort of change immediately? And
So when that original resolution was passed, I believe it was May, a year ago, right? Immediately, the board did start working on how to continue forward. There was an effort made to continue. There was a separate group set up just for that purpose. Some of you may have been on that group, right? So there wasn't a year of not, disclosing. We kept working on it. We kept working hard on it. And in fact, that came all the way until that budget was approved by the former board. There was hope. We were on that track to try to save it, right? So that we worked over the Christmas holidays and all that to try to put that proposal together for consideration, right? And then that was rejected by the National Industry Corporation, and that's how we find ourselves. That brings us up to basically today, right?
And I would like to ask a follow-up question as well. You keep using the word sustainability, and I would just like to know, what does that specifically mean to you in this instance? And where are the funds going if you're saying we need to be more sustainable? How are we being sustainable or lacking that sustainability?
Very good question. So I was on track to try to answer that great question when I was talking about programs and depth and breadth, right? So sustainability is our ability, the school's ability, to be able to continue to offer the program that you have all benefited from. That's sustainability over the course of time. We have been working really hard to continue to deliver on our promise. By the end of the year, with $300,000 left in the bank, if we're lucky, we can't be sustainable anymore. There's nothing left to offer those kinds of programs. Now, I've heard, and this is also a truth statement from you folks, well, you can do it. You can have a small school. It doesn't matter how many kids you have in the school. Yes, but that's not the kind of school Lorena is. They don't.
Exactly what kind of school is Lorena to you?
Hang on. A high-quality, excellent school that offers a deep and broad program of curriculum and co-curriculars for its students. That's what it is, okay? So, you can have a small school. Our high school enrollment, right now, I think it's 149 students in high school, okay? Let's just talk about that. So can you have a program that graduates students to college at 149 students? Yes, yes you can. Yes, you can. But that program is not going to have all the bells and whistles that we feel a responsibility to provide. That's going to be...
Don't choose for us. How do you come to that? This is, just tell us why. Just tell us why you're closing the school. Be honest, because it is not about this current quality of school. This is an incredible school. Just tell us that you were done, you want to sell the land, the sisters are done with California, whatever it is. I feel like you're not telling us the truth.
You're just another Michael Bates.
It's not the truth.
Oh.
Okay, here's the deal. I'm going to say this one more time, and then I'm going to try to transition this, okay? It is our current financial reality. That is the only reason. There is no other reason. Okay? Hold on. Okay.
Can I ask just a financial question, Tony? So just doing a little math, I looked up the EIN, your tax ID, and it's not searchable on any of the IRS databases. So as a 501c3, I was curious about that. And then the state allocation for a public school student's about $23,000 a year. So, and that's with CalPERS, CalSTRS, Health. So just the math doesn't really work out. So if our tuition's $20,000, I mean, what is our general operating budget every year? I think that's the question we want to know. What is the annual nut?
That's a fair question. So Laura was saying, well, we'll produce an illustration for everybody so you have that information and be happy to share with our families. I think that's fair, so we can answer those kinds of questions.
As a CEO, you don't know that answer, Tony? As the president, you don't know the answer.
Because the question has been, how much is it going to take, right? So,
What does it cost to run the school?
our annual operating budget is approximately $6 to $7 million. It fluctuates, okay? So that's where we are, and generally we don't take in, obviously, that income. That's where we're in the deficit, okay?
International students, amen. Co-ed, what's going on with co-ed? Absolutely.
I've always been straight up with you, Tony. I think you've known that this is a long time coming, and here's why. Because property values were a lot less 3 years ago than they are now. If you were truly looking for the funds, you don't ask parents driving by in carpool for $10,000, because that's what you're going to get. And the parents driving through carpool are going to say, hey, we're in great shape. They're raising $10,000 for one car. If you needed $2 million, you should have asked for $2 million. Because these parents would have already
People have money in
there. If you don't want it, because you're putting up a facade to make parents believe
That's right.
that they're contributing and they're fundraising, that's the sham that you put on. And that's shameful. And the fish rots from the head. And to the sisters, respectfully, my religion is Zoroastrian. Do you know what that is? It's the Magi that brought baby Jesus a gift. Throughout the course of 3,000 years, we've been decimated to less than 100,000. I openly accepted the Catholic religion. I openly accepted sending my daughter to a Catholic school. And what you have done here today is a stain on the faith, because It's been very, very much a lie.
I would just like to make a little bit of a closing statement, if that's okay. So like I said, I've been going here from 7th grade, and I graduated in 2022. And I like to say I'm one of the most rounded people at my college currently. I am top of my class in every single one of my classes. This school has been a saving grace for me. The theater department, a saving grace for me. I couldn't have done that without Robin beside me. You know what I mean? This school means so much to so many girls. I've met my best friends here. I've met my lifelong friends here. People that I would call my soulmates here. Yes. And you're taking that opportunity away from all these brilliant young women that have yet to prove themselves. You know, we are all so eloquent. The girls that are talking, the girls that have spoken before me, the girls that have spoken after me, they are very eloquent, well-rounded, just intelligent individuals. And they also look good doing it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm not trying to make this a stand-up routine, I promise. But all in all, as someone who has graduated from this school, I see the value in keeping this, and keeping this for the future generations of girls to come, because not only have I benefited so much from it, but my teachers in college have benefited so much from what I contribute. And that's that. Thank you.
And 1 second.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Hurd. I graduated in 2019, and I actually just graduated from college, and I attribute that greatly to my success. I graduated from the University of Michigan. Go Blue! And I attribute my success almost wholeheartedly wholeheartedly to Lorena. That being said, I echo basically everything everyone has said here today. Questions, I'm glad that after an hour and a half, 2 hours, we've gotten you to agree to some financial transparency. I appreciate that. I would like to answer or more transparency around the board, because from information that I've seen, there are people sitting on the board that work for competing institutions and competing schools, and that, yeah, Villanova, St. Mary Magdalene, like that doesn't really sit well with me as someone who is seeing this new board that's rushed in at the last minute simply to vote on shutting it down, which apparently you guys knew and didn't think to ask for help or didn't think to tell us. And honestly, there have been rumblings about this school needing sustainability since I went here, when I started here in the 7th grade in I don't even know what year and don't really want to date myself. But I'm just saying that there was time to ask for help, and it's very clear this community would have done so. And so I want you to kind of feel regret about that, I do. But I do want questions on who is sitting on this new board, why were these people chosen, and if they are administrators at competing schools and competing institutions, why were those the people tasked with voting on closing our school? That's right. Because that just transparently looks shady. And you know that, and I want to hear this a little bit more from people who actually work here. I'm sure you know what you're doing and respectfully, but you are not a member of our community, and I don't necessarily want to do that.
You are not.
So I think what you're referring to in terms of a competing school in your terms is one of the board members is the principal at St. Mary Magdalene Elementary School in Camarillo. He's been on the board. I believe he's serving the 2nd term. It's not a new person. He is a member of our community. He's a colleague Catholic educator. We don't consider them to be our competitors. They are collaborators. So that's that part. We have some really well,
And also, yeah, just transparency around the board in general. I'm sorry to cut you off, but yeah, transparency around the board in general. Who are these people that are making this choice? And this is an all-girls school, and so the fact that we have largely men making our decisions is a little insane. I don't know. And if this information is wrong, and if this information that I have is not correct, then again, transparency. Provide what is correct and be super open and honest about that with receipts, truth, screenshots, all of that stuff. I want that, please.
What happened to the old board and why are they not here? Can you tell us the full story?
I think we answered that question. Yeah. So,
when did it happen? What's the timeline?
Just with your indulgence, right? I really, really want to be able to share and have Maggie and Dr. Tamburo have an opportunity to share the supports that we have for our students. If that is not going to happen tonight, we will try to do that at another time for those families that want to learn about that.
There's no time. There's no time. There's no time.
Hello, my name is Emily Croft, class of 2014 over here. Thank you. I'm gonna let Amanda speak.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amanda, for waiting so patiently.
Good evening, Lorena community, faculty, and staff. If you've already haven't heard, my name is Amanda Bacher. I am a current junior here at Lorena, class of 2025. And I hope the words I'm about to say can speak volumes for my class. So, I'd like to start with ignoring the entire community here that is willing to fundraise to help continue the education, our education in the future. Let's ignore that for a second, because it's a big community. A lot of you showed up.
how is the school going to support the juniors who are going into their senior year next year, who have paid for the school because they are preparing us for college 2 years away? How is the school going to support us getting into new schools? Because we have less than 2 weeks to find a school.
And they don't take seniors as incoming students.
Exactly.
And they don't take seniors as incoming students, and you only gave us a week. And you didn't have the decency to tell me as a parent that you were going to drop them off. I spent last night on suicide watch for my 2 girls, and you have the nerve to tell me that you care about my children. Carrie, that is, you should resign in shame for mismanagement. You want sustainability? $5,000 tuition hike. That's what you're talking about. Have you asked us? Did you put it to a vote?
Or the alumni for all their pay.
To answer both of these questions, that's the very thing we want to share with you, is how we're going to do those things. I spent a great deal of time today talking with all of the area-wide Catholic schools to ensure that our goals are going to have no hurdles, that deadlines were going to be thrown out the door, that you're going to be considered as applicant with everybody else. In fact, that you're going to get some special treatment. Okay? So tomorrow, they're already coming in. Schools have prepared one-pagers with all this information for you. Tomorrow you will be getting that information, specifically detailing what their plans are to welcome Lorena girls. Okay?
Is it done? Are we at the point of no return? Please, just tell us. Is it done? Are we wasting our breath?
The National Ministry Corporation has the ultimate say, and they have directed us
Who are these people?
Who are they, Tony? You
Where are
keep
they?
bringing them up.
If you're saying they have it, then they should be here to answer to us, or you should have the correct answer now.
Are we done? Can you
We're being told, Tony, you report to them.
We've heard a lot, obviously. We've heard what you've said today. Those are certainly valid feelings, and some good points were made. I'm happy to work with Laura to
Who's
advance.
Laura? Who cares, Tony? What you don't understand? I've been here 6 years. 6 years! And now you're telling us that there's a board no one knows. These nuns, I know one of the nuns. I'm very social here. I know one. You sisters are not participating, and what you're doing right now is going after the money. I say we sue them, and we sue them out, and we don't get a penny.
I think it's evident that as this meeting continues, that money has not been the issue. I won't disclose how I've been made aware of this information, but as far as I'm concerned, it has been proposed that Lorena, while not ideal, allow boys to begin school here in hopes of increasing enrollment, as you stated, is a parent concern. And that was quickly put down. I've been made aware that the Carmelites were willing to step in and assist, and that was put down. I've been made aware that sponsors came forward for this school, and that was put down. It is not about the money. It is about the fact that this ministry, whoever, the Sisters of Notre Dame, for whatever reason, have given up on our girls. They have told these 200 young women and their predecessors that their education, in fact, was not important. Shame on you. You have been quoted saying that the mission failed.
Shame on you.
The mission is done, complete, but it has failed. You have failed these young ladies, and it is disappointing and disheartening.
Shame on you.
I think you've accomplished what you wanted.
Oh, really?
Voice your concerns.
another year. We want you to give us the opportunity. You don't want us to fix this issue because you know we are frickin' Lorena women and we will.
Amen.
Let us fix this. You don't want us to. Let us fix it, Tony. Let us fix
If you
it.
cannot be here, what will you do with this property? What will you do? Because we can't rent it, right?
Okay, hang on. I'm going to ask you little things.
Let us fix it.
I don't have the authority.
Well, who is the authority, Tony?
To be able to say, we'll do that. I can't say that's the National Ministry Corporation. Okay?
Will you try? Will you try?
Yes, I will convey this message. I will convey this passion. I will convey these concerns. We will produce the materials you've asked for.
I'm sorry, Tony, can I just ask when the next meeting is going to be so that we can ask more questions? I understand we can't keep going all night.
Yes,
When
we
can we
can.
come back and ask more questions?
All night.
When can I come back and talk to you? Because I'm an alum, I have new topics to discuss. When can we talk again?
Who can you go
We can do that again. I can't say right now that that's going to be, yes. There'll be a follow-up. This won't be the only time.
Who can you go to that will say that we are willing to fundraise?
The National Ministry Corporation and Sisters of Notre Dame.
And when will you tell us their information?
So who is in charge?
Who is the
Who
person
do we
in
go
charge?
to that is in charge to say that we are willing to come up with more money to keep this school open? Because obviously, from what you're telling us, you know, it's not the people that are here. So we need to know who is in charge.
Well, she's the COO.
So tomorrow,
She's the
tomorrow
chief
we'll
operating
be taking this to the National Ministry Corporation.
Who, Tony? What's the person's name? Who is in charge?
It's a board.
Okay, is there something that we can look up? It's called what? The National,
The National
I'm sorry, say it again?
National Ministry Corporation, Sisters of Notre Dame,
And where are they located?
Chardon, Ohio.
Where?
Chardon.
Sister
Well,
Regina
so
could do this. Sister Regina should be held to do this.
Here.
She should be
Yeah,
able
the
to.
members are from all over the U.S., but yeah.
You should be here to answer our question.
They've already said.
Honestly, Tony, I just think, you know, to put together the community coming forward with the kind of support, I think it's really not good that, one, you didn't include the community, but two, you're having a town hall where people can't make decisions, that we need to talk to them. At the end of the day, my recommendation is you get those people who are on the board right here and let them face the parents and let them talk to us and let us say, we'll help raise whatever that gap is. But to have a town hall where people can't make decisions, look, I wouldn't want to be in your position today because you can't make the decision. But at the end of the day, I think the Lorena community deserves that board to be here so we can interact with that board. And they have that ability, as you said, to make decisions. We have a right, I believe, but we spend thousands and thousands of dollars. I think we have a right to talk to those folks and try to convince them to keep this place open.
Thank you. Thank you. And I promise we're going to communicate that. Okay? Now, this was never meant to be a town hall. This was meant for our parents to help with the students and their questions. Okay? So, all right. That's what was been asked, and that's what we're going to do. And with that, we're going to conclude. Okay?
No, I'm
Thank you
sorry.
very
We have
much.
one student alum from the East Coast who the battery's dying and they need to speak.
This will be the last presentation.
Stand by.
Alright, can you all hear me? Yes. Perfect. So, I'm Sophia Bondabrowski. I'm class of 2022's ASB president, and I'm calling from Rhode Island, Newport, Rhode Island, and I'd just like to single-handedly thank Tony Guevara and the Sisters of Notre Dame for, one, letting down this school and our community.
That's right.
The second is that if I can FaceTime from 6 hours, so many hours away, you would think more than 5 sisters could walk across the street and support their school. That's it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, so
we're going to leave.
hold on.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Matt Conrad. I'm the head speech and debate coach here. I've taught a number of kids. I wasn't going to speak until I saw Heidi speak up again. I did the same thing at the faculty meeting. So I just want all of you to know some of what's been going on. So first of all, for those of you who don't know me, I am a 1993 graduate of St. Michael's School in Wheaton, Illinois, educated by the Sisters of Notre Dame. Okay. One of my uncles was provost of Catholic University of America, studied in Rome. And I want to say at least a dozen people in my family went to Catholic colleges, St. John's, DePaul, Boston College. My mother went to St. Mary's. In my classroom is a crucifix from my grandmother who went to an all-girls Catholic school in Detroit. This school, this past year, was voted by Niche.com as the number 35 Catholic high school in the entire country. For 3 years in a row, we've been voted by the Ventura County Star as the single best private school in Ventura County. Keep in mind the demographics of Thousand Oaks. The median home price here is about $1.1 million. The median income is what, about $120,000? I mean, we have a former mayor of an Orange County town sitting here who can attest to those demographics. And as for speech and debate, since I've been coaching here, we've had 3 state champions, including one this spring. We had a top 20 finish at NSDA Nationals in 2020, Andrea Chow. We've had 2 West LA District Students of the Year. We've been named by the national organization as a leading chapter. One of our alums of